Journalist Hangout, I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, Governor Yaya Bello urges President Buhari to declare Kogi National Disaster Zone over flood as disaster kills more than 100 in Jigawa State. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olayinka Oyegbile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has discovered another mansion in Lekki area of Lagos State harboring 13 million tramadol pills. In a statement, NDLEA spokesperson agency recovered 13 million pills of tramadol, 225 mg from the mansion. You may recall that this bust comes days after the NDLEA discovered a warehouse in the Ikorodu area of Lagos where cocaine was stored. Jide, cocaine 2 weeks ago, tramadol this week. And when you are talking about the tramadol in large quantity, I don't know. What does this tramadol, what's the surge crave for tramadol in Nigeria right now?
It does a lot of things for those who use it. It's a painkiller.
Painkiller?
Yes, it also gives you the kind of energy that ordinarily you can summon. You see, like these potters, they carry weights sometimes more than 2 times their own weight. A lot of those guys are heavily on tramadol. If you are suffering severe pains, you take tramadol, you may fall asleep for some time. That pain, you won't feel it until when the effect of the tramadol wears off. When that effect wears up, you then begin to feel it. So some people are already addicted to it because they don't want to feel that pain. And then the energy that it gives, especially when you take the overdose, the energy that it gives is what some of them live on. A lot of these people who are into manual work, who are potters, they work in the markets, they carry heavy load.
It's not
for people.
It's a different kind of addiction.
Yes, because what it gives them, they want to have it all the time. That's why I talked about, okay, there are some people who have backache permanently. They have it, they've not been able to cure it. Some of those people are addicted to tramadol because it then ensures that for a reasonable period, they don't feel that pain until it wears off. So knowing that when it wears off, the pain returns, some people will want to be addicted to it so that it takes away that pain, at least enabling them to be able to do a lot of work. So a lot of these very hardworking people, you see them working like Jackie, they're actually on tramadol. Is what some Nigerians have done, and some Nigerian entrepreneurs have done, is to get in touch with them in India to produce tramadol of tramadol is not really harmful if used, you use the right dose of it, maybe like 50 mg or something. But our people go to get them to produce 200. You can imagine when you're supposed to use 50, and they now do 200, 250, 225, you know? So that's already too dangerous to ingest. That's why NAFDAC has been seizing tramadol. You know, there was a time that it was brought into our country in a container. That NAFDAC had to go and take it. All of these people, including bandits, Boko Haram, they are also addicted to tramadol. And it's also, some also use it as a form of aphrodisiac, whereby once they use it, I can't explain what the effect that it has on air. So it's a kind of drug that has multiple uses for people, but like any other drug, addiction to it can lead to damage to people's kidney and all that, especially.
Dr. Ibule, looking at NDLA now, there are people that, in spite of the fact that they know the effects of these bad drugs in the society, but because of the turnover, because of, you know, the huge profits that they are stuck in trade, like this billionaire that was arrested now.
You know, the thing that has to be done now is between NDLEA and the customs and NAFDAC, we have to police our ports very well. Because from all understanding, these are not what are manufactured here in Nigeria, imported largely. So there has to be a kind of a working agreement among the three of them to be able to seize or intercept this before it gets in. Because if not for the vigilance of the NDLEA now, in that place where it is, where they got this, it is a rich avenue, a rich man estate and all that. So it is the last place perhaps that anybody would think something like this will go on. Because they are supposedly rich and responsible citizens of the society who many people see and respect. So in those houses, no one perhaps will ever think that something of that nature goes on. The NDLEA needs to be credited, but at the same time, the customs and NAFDAC, the three of them have to work together at the border. As we have said, that is the reason why today you see a lot of people going down with kidney problem, bladder problem, this and that. Tramadol is not a bad medication in itself. It is the overuse of it. It's just like any other thing. If you drink too much water, it is bad. So it's still the same thing. The system has to be in such a way that we are going to weaken or make this kind of thing impossible for people to do. It is good now that they have been intercepted, but what happened if they had not been intercepted? And that place is the last place anybody perhaps will have suspected. If it were to be somewhere in Agege, Yanakwaja, and Igando, and all those areas, far-flung areas, you say, but VGC, it means that attention must be focused more on those areas. I mean, it's mind-boggling, mind-boggling.
Jude, and kudos to NDLEA for this.
Yeah.
You know, this agency is just waxing stronger and stronger by the day under General Buba Marwa. And
yes.
We are just very proud that this agency is this kind of proactive. Hey, before now, the NDLEA was in comatose.
Yeah, nobody seemed to remember.
You know, when I interviewed him, I asked him, what did you say to the staff on your first day at work? Because it's not as if he brought his own staff. It's the same people
it's the same staff he met on the ground.
At that place. It's just providing the right leadership. And when people see that, look, this leader is focused, this leader will not brook nonsense, this leader will not ask for returns, you then have to adjust. If all your life you've been collecting returns, you know that under that dispensation, you are not going to be permitted. Some will find somewhere else to go, maybe seek transfer elsewhere. But just say this one is an acquay, it will not allow us to. You won't steal and it won't allow people to steal. So it's like that. The leadership that he has provided is what has turned the NDLA around. Wherever you take Marwa to, he's going to excel. He's that kind of person. There are some people like that. Remember when he came to Lagos? See what he did with Operation Sweep. The way he fixed, before him, they were saying, oh, there was problem of bitumen. Bitumen was...
Those of us who live in Abule Egba know what we used to go through in the Ile-Epo area.
He solved that problem.
He fixed it, yeah.
He solved that problem, and he provided good leadership here. His imprints are still here in Lagos. So I'm just happy, because when you read about even the side effects, there's no time for us to go into that. Maybe on another day, you see how we are damaging ourselves by excessive ingest of this kind of drug. And we've already warned that, look, there are some drugs now coming into our country that people use as a date rape drug.
Yeah.
They just put it in a woman's drink. Once she takes it, she can never, she will stay barren all her life. And all it does is your memory
is erased.
All what happened the night before, you cannot remember. Yeah. So that drug, the people who do date rape, that's what they use. Once they put it in your drink, and you cannot remember what happened the previous day. And the danger also is that there's no way that you can be fruitful, you can't have children, you know. So the young people need to be helped. And I'm happy. Look at the quantum of cocaine. I learned that they brought it in through the waterways. Because they too are smart. As you are making life difficult for them at the port with the 100% inspection and all that they are doing, they will find other ways to bring these things in. Look, some of the richest people in our country are crooked people. They are not people that you can take as your mentors. So the fact that people are living in VGC or what's it called? Parkview, all of those places.
Banana Island and
it's not all of them that are good people. Shebi Evans too was living in a posh area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Magodo.
Yes.
Before they decided to bust him. So a lot of them, look at these individuals, 6 mansions,
in that place.
In that
so
place
much
alone.
Premium and value on material things.
Yes.
That's
We worship money. So 6, you can imagine the value of each of those houses. Somebody
in that area.
Somebody who worked hard for his money wanted to buy a Jeep. And they told him it's 48 million. And in his presence, another person came and bought 5 of that Jeep before his eyes.
The same vehicle they drive on the same road
So
we drive our own.
You think that person worked hard for the money? It's people like this.
Yeah.
It's people like this.
Unfortunately.
Destroying other people's lives so they can get rich. Some countries of the world have come up with death penalty.
Yeah.
They said you can't be destroying
the life
our children.
Yeah.
We would destroy it. So they kill them.
To make money.
Once many Nigerians have been caught. Once they catch you, in China, for example, you are gone.
Yeah.
Once
Saudi
you make
Arabia,
a mistake, you get to Saudi Arabia. In fact, the judgment could be meted out at the airport.
Right there.
I've seen.
Right there.
In Saudi Arabia, the beheading will be done right there at the airport. So, I think we need to even come up with more punitive, because the law against drug trafficking in our country is a slap in the wrist. They will not stop until we too make the punishment stiffer.
Very, very stiff.
And confiscation of any property.
No, they are doing it. They are doing it. They are doing. I'm happy. You see, you know, they confiscated Abba Kyari's property.
Yes.
Now he has challenged them to prove that it belongs to him. So a friend of mine in NDLA said, well, we are not in the business of proving. Since you are saying it does not belong to you, it's the same thing.
Abi?
All I want is for you to forfeit it. So we are not going to be proving to you that indeed you own it.
It belongs
so if
to
this fellow too
I mean,
they confiscate the thing. They have no business proving that indeed it belongs to the person. Let the owner come forward.
Come forward and
as long as no owner
case.
comes forward, it goes to
All right.
government. And the reason they are doing it is so that when you come out of prison,
you
don't fall back on the money that you have made, so then enjoy life and be flaunting that stupid wealth in our faces.
All right. The remains of late United States-based hotelier Olubinga Olabi, who was abducted and killed by gunmen in his hometown of Ogbomoso, Oyo State, were flown back to the United States for burial. Olubinga, a U.S. citizen resident in Maryland, U.S., was kidnapped and killed by gunmen in Oyo State a few months after building a new hotel in his hometown, Ogbomoso. His remains were taken from Lautech back to the U.S. for burial, with a death certificate obtained from Lautech Teaching Hospital and also the Delaware State Military Hospital in the United States of America. His burial in the U.S. is an act of protest by members of his family about the inability to solve his painful abduction and murder. Judy, this is touching. This is touching. I have friends.
It's very painful.
I have friends in the United States of America. Anytime I'm coming home, and it's just like I'm embarking on a suicide mission. The impression painted out there is that it's not safe here in Nigeria. Anytime you tell them that you're going back home, they say, to do what?
But with these things happening,
With this now,
deny.
It's a very
More deaths are being recorded in our country, on a daily basis than Syria. I challenge anybody to prove to me that I lied. More deaths are being recovered.
the war-torn country
in our country than Syria. More deaths are being recorded in our country on a daily basis than in Libya, which is already a failed state.
War-torn Libya.
Yes. Go and check, the records are there. And this is that's why I find that a lot of these deaths go unreported. Many people die, nobody reports. Many people get kidnapped, nobody reports.
There's premium to life.
Human life is so cheap in our country these days. The video of this fellow, the audio clip,
yes.
if you listen to it, if you have the courage to listen to it, and listen to it to the end.
So excruciating.
Oh, my God.
So excruciating.
They tied him, and he was complaining. He said
that they should shift the position.
Yes, just loosen it a little bit for me. The guy, mean bastard, he could not be moved. He could not be moved. It's the same way. Look at the senator whose son was killed in Kaduna. That was the same way they tied him. By the time they came back, by the time they got there in the morning, he was gone. Because you stop blood from flowing freely through his veins.
What manner of wickedness? Somebody that came to invest in our country,
yes,
that he has already made, name for himself in the United States of America, to just fall back home and do something and help people.
Help people.
Employ people in that same hotel.
Look at the girl who died with him. That girl, student of
Lautech.
And as who was on strike, she just wanted something to hold body, as we say.
In fact, you see,
not wanting to do wrong.
The person who took, what's it called, ransom to them, was also killed.
Yeah.
One managed to escape. Like two guys on a bike. The other one managed to escape. When people take this tramadol and other drugs that these bad people are selling, this is what you get. This is what you get. Because they are not human beings anymore. Did you look at my interview with the governor of Zamfara State? He said they are animals. That was how he described them in the interview. Because to just take a life, the way these guys are doing, and that's why we are saying that, look, enough of the act of leniency towards these good-for-nothing people.
It's very discouraging. It's very
somebody is
discouraging.
arrested for kidnapping, don't spare them.
The most excruciating aspect of it all for me is that I know this hotel. I'm from Ogbomoso.
Oh.
And some few weeks before this happened, Because he's on the way to the old road to Ilorin. And I was passing there and I saw the building and I was asking my friend who resided at home. And he said, he told me the owner is he's a Nigerian, Ogbomoso's son, who is in the US. He has stayed there for 20, 30 years. And he came back home to invest. And I mean, I looked at it. I said, oh, that's good. And few weeks down the road, we heard about this. I mean, it's so devastating because, you know, when you are in Ogbomoso, you have some sense of confidence that this place is safe and all that and well. And, but for this young man to come and invest, and it is not as if they didn't pay the ransom. The ransom was
took
paid.
5 million ransom.
The ransom was paid.
They didn't have the money they were asking for.
You killed the guy. And from me, you see,
the guy was asking that man that was talking that have you been able to raise something? Have you been able to raise something?
Have you reached the bank? To collect money from the bank, are you going to tell the bank that you want to pay ransom?
I mean, the fact that it was even, I mean, you have a situation where people die abroad and they bring them back home. But this one died in his hometown. It was killed in his hometown. And they had to find a complete...
You know the Americans came here.
Exactly. Yes.
Being a citizen.
Yes, my friend in at home told me.
Here.
When I heard about it, I asked my friend at home. He said, yes. What happened now is a complete disposition with Nigeria that you cannot kill this guy and still bury it. I mean, I don't know.
So this will just send all the negative signals.
Oh, no.
Yes, this is what we are doing to ourselves.
It's not safe for our people to
look at the one that
after you come home now.
You remember
how
that
will
one?
they come home?
You remember that the one who
that caused the Baraka problem?
Exactly.
Yes. That the Okeogun man.
Yes.
You know, he came from abroad. He set up a farm here.
To even come on ordinary visit now will be difficult. I mean, in those days,
nobody wants to stay here.
Who stay abroad, when they come, everybody in the neighborhood knows that Lagbaja has come back from abroad. But now,
look around you, even where we work. You know how many young people have left in the last 1 year. You just said, where is this girl? They're going to Canada. Oh, where is this one? I said we went for a wedding in Ibadan. And I saw that some bankers, you know, they came, and then we were gisting. So one of them told me that, look, we debated for more than a month before agreeing to come by road to Ibadan. I said, just Ibadan to
Lagos to Ibadan.
You are debating. They said, we stopped traveling. But this one, we had to do it.
Yes.
And that same person was telling me that, do you know how many of our people have left? That in my department, it got to a point that they could not run the department.
That is why today the ATM thing, anything tech, when you go to bank, that's why there's problem. Exactly. You can't withdraw money. That's the root of it, and nobody seems to care.
It's a big problem that we have.
It's a big problem.
Kennedy calling us from River State. Thank you for joining us, Kennedy.
Yes. Ogajide and the other beautiful Ogas. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Kennedy. I'm calling from River State, Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
Look, Ogajide, the other day I was watching you interviewing the governor of Zamfara State, and you asked him after a while. You asked him about his stand of where he said the people of his state find a way to arm themselves and defend themselves. Are we not now seeing that it's about time for every governor in all 36 states to sing this same song to their citizens? Find a way to defend yourself. Because the truth is, the defense apparatus of the government has failed. We cannot continue to rely on the government providing security for us, and then day by day we are being killed and slaughtered. Look, it should be sound loud and clear. Everybody should find a means to defend themselves. These people out...
Thank you, Kennedy. cannot secure our land,
It's not a practical.
discouraging people.
It's not practical.
So how do we get foreign investors? How do you encourage foreign investors to come and invest in our country?
When your own real people,
foreign portfolio investment, go and check.
when your own people are being killed,
How they've refused to come home, how much we have lost.
a lot.
And these are people who bring not just expertise, but even the forex that you need.
That we badly
You know?
need.
The expertise. Before now, look at MTN coming here. You know, look at the contribution of MTN to our GDP. Look at ShopRite, the rest of
All
them.
the rest
You
of
see, this we need foreign investment. It will help you because they pay taxes, they
employ your people, they
so
do
if
a lot
they
of
stay
things.
away, if they stay away, there is no way that
In fact-
your country will be healthy economically. Everybody is looking for investors.
Security
But they are,
is
they are
key.
running away.
Security is key. There
Because
is
we
no way.
can't be sure that. Do you know how many of the oil companies? You know, we were discussing this yesterday.
Yeah.
When they lied to us that it's just stealing of our oil.
Oh.
Do you know how many of the oil company, foreign oil company, IOCs, have declared force majeure on their export terminals?
Yes. Because of all this
insecurity. So when we tell government that you need to do something about insecurity, it has nothing to do with, maybe you don't like them, you don't like their faces. No. It's just that when the country is better secured,
That is the
it
time.
is good for all of us. A lot more of us would like to remain at home.
All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangouts. We'll be right back after this breather. Stay with us.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need a room to rent in your house.
Okay, where do you work?
I'm a nurse.
That means you won't owe me rent. Congratulations, young lady. You have yourself a house.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, how much is the rent?
90,000 naira. Oh, but wait, where are you from?
I am from Akamata.
Akamata what? Akamata in my house? If you know how you got into my house, please get out right away. My spirit and that of Akamata people don't have anything to do together.
Sir, what have I done?
Your people from Akamata are known for bad things. That is what they represent, and you can't live in my house. Just get out right away.
What's going on?
Leave my house, young lady. Yes, our differences extend to our languages, culture, food, and even belief. But we are bound together by the cord of love. With one heart, with one voice, we will make Nigeria a hub of greatness, a place where the people live as one.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second, or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccines-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122.
This message is from NPHCDA in partnership with the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from MacArthur Foundation.
Thank you for staying with us. The significance of traditional drums in storytelling in the African society cannot be overemphasized. At the presentation of the play, Echoes of the Drums, written by TVC News Ola Awakon and produced by the National Troupe of Nigeria, the themes of love, brotherliness, unity, and ecotourism are being stressed through rhythms produced by drums of triplets. Let's share what happened at the event with you, as filed in by TVC News in New Luakpupola.
Born into the clan of drummers in the southwestern part of Nigeria, these brothers, who are triplets, use their drums to forge unity through rhythm, expression, and dance. This is the command performance of the play titled Echoes of the Drums, written by Ola Awakon and directed by Mike Anyanwu. It tells of the diverse culture through the drum drama, which lends a voice to the theme of love and brotherliness within the Nigerian society.
There are triplets in the play, Onlude, Anyolade, and Awogbola. And I've used these triplets to show that there's power in unity, there's power in rhythm. Because for the triplets to be able to survive in the play, they have to, produce rhythms that will always go in consonance with whatever they are doing. Without their rhythms working together, that is how they've been created in the play. Without them creating rhythms that would always go together, there is no way they'll be able to survive.
The play also addresses the sub-theme of environmental sustainability and eco-tourism. As Nigeria celebrates her 62nd independence anniversary, this play being produced by the National Troupe of Nigeria accentuates the importance of unity and peace in the land.
I see Echoes of the Drums as a metaphor for the diverse rhythms, diverse culture of Nigeria and so on. And we actually looked at it as a play that could actually suit the moment.
There is need for us to really ensure that when our country is also celebrating 62, Independence Day, we need to come up with a play that talks about our brotherhood, our love for one another as Nigerians, and the need for us to look at our diversity, as something that can be able to enrich, this country rather than probably divide us.
The ills that are noticeable in our society through dance drama, through entertainment, you can talk about those ills with the goal of having the government do something about those problems.
It relates to, unity, and as it is here in our country, Nigeria. So it's the coming together of different people that makes us one.
These drums being used take the audience back to the days of old, where it is not just for entertainment, but to tell stories of Nigeria's rich culture, as well as make known some of the ills of the society. Inioluwa Popola, TVC News, Lagos.
Some cheering news there. At least we have talented youths around, and their talents, are nesting it there all over the world, all over Africa. They're making us proud.
Yes, and some diplomats from even beyond Africa, they were there. Some from Ghana, the High Commissioner, they were all there. There is so much beauty about stage plays, because it's the stage plays that shows the depth of your talent and your efficiency. If it's just a recorded play.
Of course, you can play back.
Yes, you make mistakes, you give one,
do all over again.
Several takes and all that.
Yes.
But for the stage play,
life, margin of error will be reduced.
You cannot correct what you have done. And it reminds me of when I was growing up, and Oyin Adejobi, Fumilayo Ranko, Aisho Pepe, they will come to our school and in our hall
and do all this.
So it was common then, and people would come from outside of the school to come and watch it. And at Muson Center, there were many people who came to see this play, because the joy of watching stage performance, you cannot compare it with
sitting. Maybe it also reminds me of the 90s when there was a bank that used to sponsor Nigeria Festival of Plays, when mostly Olaro Timi's plays and so on at the Muson Center, at University of Lagos and all that. These are things that shows you that, look, we have a lot of beauty in our art and culture. This one, for instance, if they get a sponsor now and he can travel around the country or even abroad, they are going to make a lot of impression about Nigeria. I mean, all this insecurity we are talking about, it will also, people will no longer talk about that alone, but about the beauty and the diversity of the country. Look at, I mean, these are very, very rich cultural places, and it shows that, look, our people are very, very creative. We can do a lot of things, but it is just the atmosphere, the thing that we need to wake us up to do something beautiful like this. I mean, look at the aesthetics of the stage. Look at the performance.
All those people you see in brown, they are human beings, so
yeah.
And they stood ramrod straight like that for so long. You would think that they were just stationary objects. You know, it was such a beauty just to watch this one.
I wish we can go back to that area.
Has shown that he is such a talented young man.
That's his area.
He's shown his depth as an artist.
The other side of him, exactly, that's just where I was coming to. The other side of him that, look, I'm not just an ordinary reporter, I'm a creative person, I can write, I can...
He wrote this play in 2005 as an undergraduate. He wrote this play a long time ago.
That's a
for the national troupe
to have taken it
present his play is an honor that many artists are not privileged to have till they die. So at his age, to watch the presentation of his own play by the national troupe, that has elevated him.
It's not a small matter at all.
That has elevated him.
I wish we can take it beyond this.
Honestly. So
we say congratulations to our own.
Very big congratulations.
And people like Ben Topoloju, they were there. They were there to honor him with their presence. It was a thing of joy, honestly. See?
Mrs. Omotosho.
Yes.
From
okay. Moving on now. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to declare Kogi a national disaster zone due to flooding that has rendered many households and communities homeless. The governor made this appeal during the 62nd independence anniversary of Nigeria, saying that the declaration will help unlock the nation's capabilities to respond more aggressively with resources to this perennial disaster. Judy, earlier on the social media, I saw the video when it rained in Lokoja 2 weeks ago, and I saw houses submerged. Now, when you know the topography of the confluence city, you will understand that that river, at any time it rains heavily, that they are at risk. The disaster in Kogi State, the federal government should intervene immediately.
Well, we have to report that many Nigerian states are affected now. We're talking about Kaduna, Niger State, Benue, Adamawa, Jigawa, Taraba, Bauchi, Anambra, Ebonyi, Yobe, Edo, Delta, Kogi, Lagos, Ogun, Ekiti, and Plateau. Flooding has been a big problem this year. It's not as if we were not warned.
Yeah.
We were warned that at least 22 states will be affected.
Yes.
But how we were still unable to do anything meaningful is what baffles me. Look at least in Kogi, it didn't kill people like it killed people in Jigawa State. In Jigawa, the number of people killed, we've been told just about 100. What I've been told reliably, that they are far higher than 100.
To be so ferocious.
We are more than 3/4 of the local government in the states were submerged. What do you expect? People have lost their farmlands, they've lost their homes,
cattle.
They've lost their cattle, and they've lost lives. So, one of the big problems that we have, there's a dam in Cameroon. Anytime they open that dam, all the Nigerian states
will have
that River Benue passes through them. They are in trouble.
They are in trouble.
Adamawa, as we speak, flooding has destroyed many homes, killed people, destroyed farmlands, and unfortunately, it's happening at a time when people are harvesting. And they are losing their farmland. Look on Benue. Then in Benue, rice farms destroyed. Now, in the case of Kogi, you know, all of those, even in the state capital, the roads along the shoulder of the river, the banks of the river,
overwhelmed,
just taken over by flood. I've seen videos of people in the heart of the town, in canoes, moving around in canoes. What's the meaning of this? Because you can't move around. Now, even Kotonkarfi, where you have that Baja Bridge that links the north and the south, people can't move freely because Kotonkarfi is flooded too. So some people can be on the road for 3 days. If you are coming into Kogi from the east, the southeast, through Ibaji, and coming into Ajaokuta, Ajaokuta too, you know, River Niger has a big presence in Ajaokuta. Yes. The place is flooded too. So the road is literally cut off. We are talking about flooding that is even destroying bridges and all that in many states. So what the governor is saying, 12 local governments in the state are affected. 12 out of 21. So that's why he's saying, look, we need to do something about this flooding because it's such a big problem.
You know, from what you can see now, the problem we are going to face is the aftermath. Because now many of these houses, their integrity is already compromised. I mean, look at. So, where do you settle these people?
Because
or what do you do? When you have water constantly soaking a house completely like this, the foundation, everything is swept away. So, the foundation will be weak. And then, how do you settle this? The aftermath effect is going to be much more than what we are even looking at now. And it is very, very unfortunate.
And even the water that people are drinking
exactly, already contaminated.
Because if you have this kind of
where do they go? For weeks. All the ways that have been buried underground will be
in Benue, I saw Nema. In this local job, I've seen flooding, exhume human remains.
Yes. Of course.
Because look, if you do not bury people deep into the ground.
After the 6 feet.
No. You know, this is not every culture. It's not every culture that puts people in 6 feet. Some are not even up to 3 feet. What you just see is the sand that they put on top.
Exactly. Even if
so that one will be like 1 foot.
The water, with all this water and
in this local job, dead bodies. Released onto the road.
It's a very, very... In fact, if care is not taken, epidemic will break out. Because with what we are seeing here is a very, very...
I wish we had more visuals and...
very, very dangerous.
People's livestock gone. By the time they come
investment, everything.
There was a video that I saw where flood was washing away cattle. You see them, they are helpless. Cattle is not the sort of animal that swims. No. Just sweeping them off, sweeping off cattle.
So when they are dead, they will decay, and then they will go into the body water and all that. It's a
like people will need to be evacuated in most of these areas now. They will need like a makeshift IDP.
Yes.
Because no normal human being will
take them to the highland. Take them to the high ground.
It's a serious matter that the government must quickly think of what to do.
It's every local, it's even worse in some places than Kogi. Honestly.
So what we are seeing in Lagos is not...
No, the good thing about Lagos is that within a short time, the water will dries up.
It's
not like that in other places. They can be there for months.
Yeah, in other places.
Did you see what they've done in Bayelsa? They've closed schools. The schools are going to open around November 2nd or so in Bayelsa because of flooding.
Because of flooding.
Flooding has literally taken over most of the state. So they've now had to close the schools. They closed the schools last weekend and said they will reopen in November. How do people go to school? How do they move around?
That's the reason why the government must also emphasize the need for people to understand what is meant by climate change. All these are part of the issues of climate change. Because when things happen like this, you need to know what is it that we need to do, or what is it that we have been doing. Because in Nigeria today,
in any way.
In Nigeria
this is
today,
just a natural disaster.
We have abused our environment so much that if care is not taken, this climate change we are talking about is going to consume a lot of things. And the need for people to understand, even those who are in government or who are in charge of all these things, need to understand climate change is not just talking alone. You need action. And what are the actions that needs to be taken? That they need to take. These are things that we need. At this point, you need geographers, you need weather forecasters, and all those to come together and say, look, what exactly do we need to do? There are things you may not be able to control, but there are things that you need to do as to be proactive, to make sure that when these things come, you are ready to take action.
The one that I'm even confused about what we can do is this constant opening of the dam. There is so much danger when the dam breaks. It's worse.
Yeah.
Because when the dam breaks, everything along its path is destroyed.
It's destroyed.
The water will destroy. So they often release the water gradually.
Bit by bit.
This Onion Dam in is it Osun State or where is it?
Osun.
Whenever they release it, our people in Denro, the Akute area, their houses get flooded. It will be like that for months. Right up to even this, sometimes even along the express. The express here, from
Long Bridge.
Long Bridge area. You see it on one side like that, and it goes
to be very close
like
to the
that
bridge.
The effect is felt all the way to Ikorodu, around where there is one town there. What's the name of the town? In the Ikorodu area, on the way to Ikorodu, that it's always flooded every year.
I agree.
Now, what do we do? You can't say that they should not release water from the dam. Many places, as a result of climate change, are experiencing unusually high volume of rainfall.
Yes.
So that one, nobody can do anything about it.
We're not prepared for emergencies.
At a point, you have to, even the Americans, you can see what.
Yes, they will deploy the military.
The storm waters.
Sometimes they deploy the military. The military will take over. They'll start evacuating people.
And
Katrina.
some of these rivers
Katrina, you saw what we did to them.
Katrina
Now, what do we do? Do we stop? You can't stop them from opening the dam.
Yeah.
I think in Kano, the Jamare...
water dam.
No, what's the name of this dam in Kano? Tiga Dam.
Yes.
They opened it. That was what wasn't the problem in Jigawa. But the alternative to not opening it
is worse.
Once it breaks, anytime, it will kill people.
No, it will.
To kill people, it would sweep away communities. So they now say, okay, let's gradually be opening it. But when you open it, people's farmlands gone. All the years hard work.
It's
coming at a time when
the devil's alternative.
You know, someone was telling me that this flooding is happening at a time when we don't really need water. Because it's harvest time.
It's harvest time.
They've had good rainfall for like 3 months in the north, so consistent rainfall, and it's harvest time. Then this is
all that
what
is
do they do?
away.
All the hard work just swept away like that.
I think they also need to dredge some of the rivers to make them deeper and
be able
allow
to check in water
to flow. Yes, because the way things are now, is the picture ahead is not good at all.
So many strange things. In Katsina, ice flakes dropped this year. Ice flakes, so it was raining and ice flakes. It's not like Jos, for example. In Jos, when it happens, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it in Jos. Katsina, very hot states, ice flakes were dropping, and it destroyed farmlands. So all kinds of strange things are happening because as a result of this climate change, and that's why it's a big problem across the world. World leaders are sitting down, asking themselves, what do we do? How do we respond?
I have this caller from Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
Umar, thank you for joining us.
Umar.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for the program. I thank Mr. Jide and the rest of you guys. Please, I do hope that the federal government will listen to you people's call, because we thought by now the federal government would have finished the dredging of Lokoja as this is a perennial occurrence every year during rainy season, and people are finding it very difficult to pass. In fact, it was not only the people of Kogi State that suffered along that route. The road that links is north and south. I think the federal government should pay more attention to really address that issue. In fact, the administration tried to dredge that river for economic reasons, which the federal government is yet to fulfill. Please, they should please focus on that, and solve it once and for all. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
So even the pen, if you are traveling now, you are coming from the east, you have to pass through Benue. You have to bypass Lokoja.
A longer route.
Go through Benue State just to avoid the flooded areas. It's and those going to Abuja through, from Lokoja is extreme pain for them, because
that
the road
that they used to pass,
the road is flooded, so hours and days in traffic. It's a terrible situation that our people are going through. It happened in Katsina, but their own was short-lived. Flooding has done so much damage this year. Their own was short-lived, but when you look at the extent of the damage, one of the TV stations did a program yesterday on this thing. They were moving from state to state. And I said, so this thing is this bad?
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. And we have to activate our emergency response system. We should respond rapidly.
So that they can
how are they responding?
Bring support to people and all that. It's a terrible. In fact, this.
Just ask yourself, how will people drink?
How will people
water?
exactly?
Especially you rely on borehole, and that borehole, the whole area is even submerged. If you are relying on well water, everything is submerged. You may not even know why it is.
Will have been destroyed. Full stop at home, domestic. Yeah. I mean, people in their homes. Full stop that is very expensive.
At this time.
Your home is already flooded. I mean, what do you do?
Thank you. Olayinka Oyebile, PhD. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. And Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thank you for your contribution.
Thanks.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us this Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday between 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/CBC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
Wimka is here again. It's bigger. It's better. glamorous. Be a part of the largest gathering of female marketing and communications professionals in sub-Saharan Africa as they explore the theme, Breaking More Biases for a Sustainable Future. The two-day event will feature impactful programs including a world-class conference, exhibitions of female-centric products, masterclasses for female-owned businesses, recognitions, and awards. Date is the 7th and 8th of October 2022. Venue is the Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. Register for free to attend at www.wimca.ng. WIMCA is proudly supported by and brought to you by Brand Communicator. See you there.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. We all know the benefits that come from eating a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes that's not always easy. Until now. ShopX TV is proud to introduce NutriBullet, the must-have kitchen item of the year. With NutriBullet, you can now easily get your daily recommended fruits and vegetables in a fast, simple, and convenient way. Not by eating them, but by drinking them. Here's how it works. First, add spinach for fiber, berries for antioxidants, and some banana for potassium. Add water and watch how the NutriBullet completely breaks everything down. Even almond nuts, cashew nuts, and tiger nuts have been completely broken down. The NutriBullet is not a blender. It's not a juicer. It's an extractor, a crusher. It's a grinder with a 600-watt motor combined with bullet cyclonic action that forces everything into its extractor blades, breaking down, pulverizing, and crushing stems, seeds, and skins, and releasing all the essential nutrients trapped inside. Tired of using blenders that are difficult to use and produce poor results? Yuck! Watch this as we compare a normal blender with the NutriBullet. The normal blender struggles to get through to the finer ingredients